All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills. Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go from New Era Field. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback. And bring it out to the 25.
Check 15. Mike is 59. Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming.
Five wide.
Check.
On first down, Allen. And his first pass is incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Scott. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And it's taken in at the... And deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 11. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Deeper. Hey.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And he finds Howard complete. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. That one taken in by Carlos Henderson. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Green 80! Watch the run! Watch the run! Watch the run! Check.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Taking it in from the 20 as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
To throw, it's Allen, eluding the pressure right. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Allen to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Check. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Hey, tight. Here I come again. Go.
Allen now on first down. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
After the sack on first down, Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
And brings up third down.
Round 80. Right there, 54 Mike. Watch a slant. It's it. 54 Mike.
On third down, Scott. There they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. The Bills send the punter out. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
The end of the first quarter with the score Seahawks 7, Bills 0.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Wilson. That's caught by Howard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the 35 on second down, Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now Rashad Penny, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Rush in. Rush in. Guys, 4 down.
After the penalty, it's Penny. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He was brought down by Michael Davis.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the 16, Wilson forced out to his left. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a 1st down.
Set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check safety.
Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Ed Oliver gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Wilson, flushed out right. He'll run it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Toward the pylon, caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now Myers for the extra point.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Strip that ball. Hey, 1 7. Check Mike 54.
Here's Allen. Flush to his right. Uncorks one for Davis. And it's knocked away and incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plan's for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
49 to Mike. 49 to Mike. I'm here all day.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He completes it to the tight end Knox. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Right 319. Yeah, right there. 54 Mike. 3 bud.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. Finding Knox there, complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. Here's Allen on 1st and 10, eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
I'm coming after you.
And And here's Allen. Going to throw again. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds, because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
56.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Got an open man, it's Scott. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. First trip to the red zone for the Bills. This is first and goal from about the 8. And again, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Casey Hayward with a sack on the well-timed corner blitz. To try again after the sack. Allen, open man, here is Scott, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Boston Scott in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run again with Hilliard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Alert, alert, alert! Come on, boy! Let's go!
From the 30 on second down, Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
49's the mic. 49's the mic. Let's pick it up.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen.
Let's get off the field.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the gain.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Tight end's right. Even. 4 down. Even. Good job right there.
Wilson steps away to his left. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Hey, Charlie. They're going to need some therapy after this. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, get in the weight room. Hey, check.
To the air, Allen, flushed out right. This one caught by Davis. The good pickup there at 22.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On first down, it's Scott, and some room to work. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Boston Scott ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's caught at the 10. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 65 yards. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's Carson. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there.
6 man. Go. Check cross. Out. Hey, switch gears. Switch. Watch out.
They run again with Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now it's Carson, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
Myers' kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
We play to win. Let's go.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
At the 42-yard line.
Ready, break. 149. Let's go, D. Let's go. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Sponge.
They'll run on first down. Hilliard. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's the backup, Tannehill. And this one's incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now a give, right side. Hilliard. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
36. You draw corporate. Check 52. Check 99. Check 99. SOS. Protein spill. SOS.
And now a sneak, Tannehill. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. A wall of bodies there. Nowhere to burrow through the line on the quarterback sneak. And the Bills are going to get the football back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Let's go, defense.
Here's Dobbs to throw. And that's complete to Luke Wilson. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Bills on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Give me that ball, defense. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. They're not ready.
From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Move. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
On 4th down, Dobbs, and he locates Luke Wilson. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Dobbs now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. 34 yards there at a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Mike, 55. Check. 55.
Throwing here, Dobbs. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Dobbs. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And his kick is indeed good, and the Bills have tied the game here in the 4th. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. I'm coming, baby, I'm coming, baby. Woo! Fight.
Tannehill. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Let's get this. Where's 52? Watch 52.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Here we go.
Get it.
Tannehill. Open man is Anderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
1st down, Seattle.
Now it's Tannehill. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They've gone to the 4th quarter now in Dallas. The Jets have now taken the lead in a high-scoring affair. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun to give to Penny. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way, because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
General West.
Now Tannehill. That's caught by Penny. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Check 61. Matchbox White.
Tannehill now to throw. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime, they've just likely won this thing in regulation.
And that score, in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears, they get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
I got you. I got you.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you, because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So